Resort news. A simple but effective credit card scam is sweeping through Punta Cana, and it's costing unsuspecting tourists thousands of dollars in seconds. It's happening in broad daylight at places you'd never expect. An old scam is still alive and well, and people are falling for it even before they step foot in the Dominican Republic. But it's a simple one to avoid if you're aware of it. The seaweed season might be extreme in 2025, with a possible 1 million tons of sargassum arriving on the Dominican Republic beaches. I'll bring you this and many more resort news to get you up to speed. Vamos, let's go! Let's kick things off with number 1. A credit card scam is catching unsuspecting tourists off guard and charging their cards exorbitant amounts without them noticing. We've been noticing an increase in online posts about variations of a simple yet effective credit card payment scam. Recently, a Reddit user recounted how after requesting an Uber through the app to go to the airport, the driver informed them that he could not enter the airport as an Uber. As a result, he canceled the trip and drove them for the same price as a taxi, which was 800 pesos. At the end of the trip, they described the following. My husband pays 800 Dominican pesos and 20% tip. In the process of handing the card back to my husband, the driver drops the card. My husband picks it up and off we go. A few days later, we checked our credit card and the charge was 80,000 Dominican pesos plus tip. Another case also involved a taxi driver dropping off a couple at their hotel. This time, the driver exited the car with the excuse of getting a better reception at the payment terminal. He attempted to charge their debit card over $1,000 but was unsuccessful. He then ran it for $370 and it went through. They were able to confront the driver because they got the charge notification on their phone, and hotel security assisted them in forcing the driver to issue a refund. When using your card, double-check the charge amount and never leave your card unattended. Number 2. The world-renowned luxury St. Regis brand opens its first resort in Punta Cana. Marriott is introducing the St. Regis Cap Cana Resort, which, according to them, is poised to redefine luxury hospitality in the Dominican Republic. The new resort is situated in Cap Cana, alongside other notable resorts such as Hyatt Ziva and Zilara, Sanctuary, Secrets, and Dreams Cap Cana. It is a small resort with just 200 rooms, including luxury suites and swimouts. It features 9 restaurants and bars, although the information on their website is somewhat unclear. The Jack Nicklaus signature Punta Espada golf course, consistently ranked number 1 in the Caribbean and Mexico by Golf Week magazine, surrounds the St. Regis, so expect to have a few golfers in your midst. One important thing to note is that it is not an all-inclusive property, so be prepared to incur additional costs for its amenities, bars, and restaurants. Would you consider staying in a non-all-inclusive resort in Punta Cana? Let us know in the comments. Let's continue with number 3. Some people continue to fall for the e-ticket scam by paying for it when it's an entirely free document. It has been mandatory since 2021 to fill out an electronic form known as an e-ticket to enter and exit the Dominican Republic. This e-ticket can be completed on the Dominican Immigration Office website, eticket.migracion.gov.do, in a few minutes, and there is no cost associated with it. There are some websites like eTickets Dominican on the first page of Google results that convince unknowing visitors to pay for the e-ticket. Technically, they inform you that you can get it yourself for free, but as you can see, they bury it in the FAQ section and the minuscule text on the site's footer. The process works as follows. You fill out your information on their website, pay them, and then they complete the form on the official immigration site. They receive your e-ticket and send it to you. As you can see, you are paying for a totally unnecessary middleman, as filling out your information on their website requires the same amount of work as doing it on the official site. The difference is you have to spend money, and you wouldn't receive your e-ticket immediately after filling out the form. Additionally, you'd have just provided sensitive information such as your full name, address, and passport number to an unknown third party. Next, number 4. Hurricane season is underway in the Atlantic Ocean, and above normal hurricane activity is predicted for 2025. NOAA's outlook for the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, which goes from June 1st to November 30, predicts a 30% chance of a near normal season, a 60% chance of an above normal season, and a 10% chance of a below normal season. The Dominican Republic is situated on the natural pathway for storms and hurricanes. While a direct impact doesn't occur often, indirect impacts like flooding rain, high tides, and gusty winds are common every year. We'll keep you updated throughout the hurricane season on any possible impacts to Punta Cana. Okay, I've still got more resort news and today's top headlines coming up, but first, it's time for our quick mid-show chat. We asked you, what size all-inclusive resort do you prefer? Over 400 of you responded, and here are the results. 4% of you prefer a small resort, 32% a medium-sized resort, a majority of you prefer big resorts, while 22% huge resorts. Thank you for all your answers and comments, which allow us to get to know you better. Today's question is, would you stay in a non-all-inclusive resort in Punta Cana? Answer A for yes, B for no, or C if you'd consider it. Chime in below in the pinned comment. We look forward to reading your thoughts, but now let's get back to the resort news. On to number 5. Posadas, a leading hospitality group in Mexico, will open a new all-inclusive brand in Punta Cana later this year. The Fiesta Americana Funeeq Punta Cana will open sometime this year in Uvero Alto. According to their website, it'll open this summer, but according to travelpulse.com, the opening date is this fall. When trying to book on booking.com, the first available dates are in August, so make of that what you will. Fiesta Americana will be a family-friendly resort with 494 mid-century modern rooms, featuring 10 restaurants and 6 bars, including a sports bar and a juice bar. Additionally, it will have a water park and an adults-only spa. This new resort is located next to the adults-only Live Aqua Punta Cana resort. Since both brands are owned by Posadas, it is our understanding that adult guests staying in both resorts can use the amenities of the other. Next, number 6. A record-breaking 1 million tons of seaweed could reach the Dominican Republic beaches this summer. According to the University of South Florida, more than 31 million tons of sargassum are floating toward the Caribbean, Florida, and the Gulf of Mexico. Sargassum arrival is now a regular yearly occurrence for the DR, with some years being worse than others. The Dominican President, Luis Abinader, recently stated that in an extreme scenario, the country could face upwards of 1 million tons of sargassum this season. Most Punta Cana hotels now have dedicated staff picking up the seaweed from its beaches. Furthermore, many resorts have installed seaweed barriers designed to prevent most of the seaweed from reaching the shore. Now, number 7. One Punta Cana resort is cracking down on lounge chair hogging. It's very common for people to reserve lounge chairs by placing towels over them. Some people even get super early to secure theirs. We're not opposed to this practice per se, since pool loungers can be scarce in some hotels, but hogging them while not using them is not cool. We've seen signs at resorts stating that this practice is forbidden, but in reality it is rarely enforced. According to a Reddit user who recently stayed at the Joya Bávaro by Iberostar, they actively check on unoccupied chairs every hour. I believe if you're away for 2 hours, one of the resort employees notifies security and they will remove your belongings. There's more important news still to come, but real quick, if you're new here, I'm Ari, and along with John, we're the nitty-gritty travelers. Our goal with this segment is to bring you the latest resort news in a way that keeps you informed without wasting your time. So, if you've got a resort trip coming up, consider subscribing. Now, let's get back to the resort news. Number 8. A tourist was asked to remove the towel they had set on the sand in front of a hotel in Punta Cana. A tourist claims that they put down their towel on the sand in front of the Vista Sol Hotel and security asked them to remove it, claiming it was a private beach. While we don't have the full details of the exchange, if taken at face value, this is absolutely wrong. Beaches are public in all of the Dominican Republic. If you're not using the hotel's furniture, no one can forbid you from laying on the sand. You're now all caught up. If you want to stay in the loop and be ready for your next resort getaway, make sure to subscribe. Hasta luego!